Hey CrossFit Inguz, happy Wednesday. Workout today is called Encore. It's going to be 4 rounds, each within a 5-minute window. For the first 2 rounds, the rep schemes will stay the same. It's going to start with 21 over and back dumbbell hops, then 12 thrusters, dumbbell hops again, 9 clean and jerks, dumbbell hops again, and 6 devil's press. Now, this is prescribed as a double dumbbell workout, but we will show you options for a barbell and single dumbbell as well. As we get to rounds 3 and 4, we're going to switch up the rep scheme. It's going to reverse. And so again, we will alternate with those dumbbell hops, but this time it will go 6 devil's press, 9 clean and jerks, and 12 thrusters. The idea here today is to go out with a pace that you feel you can keep for all 4 rounds. Ideally, we want to get the work done in 4 minutes, leaving ourselves 1 minute of rest before starting the next round. Modifications. If we're working with a single dumbbell today, we're going to change up the rep scheme just slightly. We're going to have 15 front rack thrusters, 12 alternating clean and jerks, and we'll alternate every rep, 9 alternating devil's press, again, alternating every rep each time. If we're working with a barbell today, we want to load it with a relatively light weight, perhaps 95-65, might be prescribed in the gym. Either way, choose something that you can complete the reps in 1 to 2 sets. So again, it's going to be 12 thrusters, 9 clean and jerks, and 6 power snatches in place of that devil's press today. For today's warm-up, after doing a general warm-up, we'll complete a single dumbbell warm-up. Just know that you can also do this with a barbell. So Andrew's going to start with 10 goblet squats. Here we're trying to loosen up those hips, pushing them back, driving those knees out, keeping that chest up nice and tall. From there, we'll then complete 10 Romanian deadlifts. If we're working with a single dumbbell, we'll complete these 5 on each side. If we're working with a barbell, again, we'll just complete 10 Romanian deadlifts. From there, we want to complete 10 dumbbell Russian swings. So we're going to hold that dumbbell in the center, providing us the best grip, driving those hips forward, squeezing those glutes with those hips. If we're using a barbell today, we're going to substitute a hang power clean in place of these Russian swings. From there, we want to complete 10 dumbbell strict press. So ideally, we're completing these 5 on each arm, keeping that thumb pointed back, bicep tight to the ear. But if we have a heavier dumbbell today, we can also hold it with 2 hands in the front rack position and do the strict press with both hands. In today's workout, we have a good number of over and back dumbbell hops, so we want to be as efficient as possible. This means starting with a narrow stance and then staying as tight to the dumbbell as we can. By staying tight in our stance and close to the dumbbell, that's going to allow us to be as efficient as possible. Now, as Andrew slows it down, realize that down and back counts as 1 rep. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Our first dumbbell movement is going to be the thruster. So this is prescribed as a double dumbbell. So you'll notice Andrew starts with both dumbbells in the front rack position. He's got his normal stance, and he's going to go to the bottom of his squat before coming up and driving those dumbbells up overhead. Our focus here should be keeping our heels planted and really squeezing our glutes to get the most out of our hips as we press that dumbbell up overhead. If we have a single dumbbell today, we're going to hold it in the front rack position like a bow tie. Again, go to the bottom of our squat and initiate that overhead by driving with our hips forward and squeezing our glutes. If we're working with a barbell today, we're going to use the same weight for all 3 movements. So again, we want to keep this relatively light, perhaps 95-65, and Keith is going to show us that barbell thruster. Here we want to move in a nice consistent pace, driving that barbell up overhead, allowing it to touch the shoulder and push us back into the bottom of the squat. We don't want to press up overhead until we've come completely out of the squat, so that again, we're using those hips to propel the bar up and over our head. Our next dumbbell movement is going to be the 9 clean and jerks. So again, using the double dumbbell, the front head of the dumbbells will touch the ground outside of the feet. We'll jump the weights up to the front rack position, and then again, jumping the weight up and overhead. Our feet are going to be a little bit more narrow for the clean and jerks than they will be for the thrusters. That's going to allow us to get in a good deadlift position as we come down to the ground with those dumbbells. If we have a single dumbbell today, the front head is going to touch in between the feet, so we might go a little bit wider with the feet, but again, we're gonna jump it up to the shoulder, driving that dumbbell up overhead. Here we'll alternate every rep, either on the ground or in mid-air, whichever is more comfortable for you. If we're using a barbell today, the same weight from the thruster will now be still on our barbell for the clean and jerk. And again, we're going to go from the ground to the shoulder and then jump that weight up overhead. Make sure that we have locked out the knees and the elbows and stood that bar up before bringing that barbell back down to our shoulders. Again, ideally we want to complete all 9 clean and jerks in 1 to 2 sets. Our final dumbbell movement is going to be the devil's press. On the devil's press, your feet should be slightly outside of shoulder width. This will allow for the dumbbells to settle between them as you come out of that burpee portion. Try to make sure that your feet don't go so wide though that your knees end up caving in. Ideally, we want those dumbbells to go straight from the ground to overhead, not stopping at the shoulder. If we only have a single dumbbell today, Andrew is going to show you how we can alternate arms each rep for single dumbbell devil's press. So we'll go first again with the right, come down to the ground, in that push-up, switch to his left hand, and then again, come straight up overhead. Reps are changed to slightly here to complete 9 alternating devil's press as opposed to 6 with the 2 dumbbells. If we're using a barbell today, we're going to substitute a power snatch for that devil's press. So barbell will start from the ground. We're going to jump that weight straight up overhead, landing in the quarter squat, standing it up all of the way. Again, same weight will be on the barbell, and we want to be able to complete these power snatch in 1 to 2 sets.